Food banks across the country are seeing an increase in donations.
This in large part due to the U.S. and China trade wars, and here in Western Mass, it's no different.
Western Mass News reporter Alyssa McCann explains why shelves are full just in time for the holidays.
The Food Bank of Western Mass is filled with fresh produce and other food items, a positive result of the ongoing trade wars between China and the U.S.
Over the last 12 months, we've actually received 1 million more pounds of food from the federal government through what they call the Trade Mitigation Fund to help farmers and, as a double whammy, help individuals who are at risk of hunger.
Executive Director Andrew Morehouse says they are getting funding in food from the state and federal government as the trade wars continue.
There's surplus food because farmers can't sell it to buyers in China, and so for that reason the federal government is intervening in the market to support farmers and at the same time assist those who can't otherwise afford to put food on their table.
And in fact, 42% of the food received from the government during the last 12 months was from the trade mitigation. You can see here all the food with the label USDA is from the government. Morehouse tells Western Mass News this is a dramatic increase in the amount of healthy food they provide to struggling households.
And those 1 million pounds of food are the equivalent of 854,000 meals. And most of that food, exactly 2/3 of it, is fresh, perishable foods.
In addition to getting food and funding from the federal and state government, the Food Bank of Western Mass also grows their own produce locally. With the increase of fresh products, the food bank has not had any difficulty providing for the local pantries here in Western Mass.
We're in it together. We're a partnership. We can't do our work without the local feeding programs, the pantries and the meal sites and the shelters, and they rely on us to provide the majority of the food to them. So together, as a community, we're able to feed our neighbors in need.
The food bank says they would rather not see a trade war, but they are hopeful the government will continue support these entities.
Sure. I was just down in Washington, D.C. Earlier this week talking to our federal delegation, and every one of them is committed to supporting continued funding of the trade mitigation funds for this new fiscal year.
In Springfield, Alyssa McCann, Western Mass News.